Are we live? Yeah, I think we are. Okay, so on the last stream, I tried Astro for the first time. I guess, hi friends. I actually heard like a pretty cool greeting on one of the channels, but I forgot the name of the channel of what the greeting was. So anyway, on the last stream, we basically what I tried to do is try Astro for the first time and try to see if I can use it. And I actually tweeted that, like, yeah, Astro is cool, but I think that only like Next.js could do what I want. But I was so hesitant to actually use Next.js. So, like, after some time, I figured out how to use Astro. Basically, the problem is that should I just show it? It's not ready, but like the technical part is. So so what it does is, if you look at the basically like resources that we get, they like, I think this one is good because like what I do is I just proxy, like with this website is hosted on Netlify, and I also host on Netlify the Astro like blog itself, and then I just proxy basically like this, like /blog stuff to Astro. And the problem is with things like that, so this one is like, it's not /blog/chunks, it's just /chunks. And so for example, this one is from the like host web page, so we don't need to proxy it. But all of the stuff like that, like entry stuff and like assets and styles, that's something that I needed to add like basically explicit. I can probably show it. Yeah, so I needed to add redirect to assets. I need to add redirects. Actually, in Netlify docs, they don't have like this complete example, so I kind of like had to figure it out. The tricky part is like this star and this like splat stuff. So this allows me to, that one is not as tricky, this one is. So like as you see, the entry JavaScript stuff, it's like it's slash something, it's like, so it's not inside the subfolder. And I was like sure that there is no way for Netlify to work for something like that, and that's why I was like, okay, I think Astro doesn't work, I should just try Next.js. And I actually figured out how to do it. So I think this dot goes like about this dot, so it's like not like regex or something. So this star is literally like replaced with this splat stuff. So this hash could change, but this redirect will still work. So that was the most tricky one. I was hoping for something like this. I think in Next.js like supports this configuration, so you can just ask it, okay, just do everything in /blog, and once I have this redirect, like I don't need any of that stuff like explicitly redirected. But it's, I guess, like we can live with it. I decided to live with it. So I guess that means that I was like impressed by Astro enough to go through all of this stuff. So so this is my tweet. What else? Yeah, so this is the bug report that I left for this configuration, like the fact that it's like not supported in Astro, because like config file like implies that it is, and there is actually, they closed that one, and I read through this, and there's like actually like some guy provided like example of how he basically like work around for this. So you need to change like both public and something, and like I think he has like a script that repackages stuff. So I didn't bother to try this because I just hope that this issue will be like resolved at some point. And what else? Yeah, so that's the state of that. I also haven't streamed in like 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, it's just some live stuff, and I actually found like some other outlet where I can kind of like basically apply myself that is kind of like in similar vein. Yeah, my plan is to have it at weekly, and the original idea was to have it on Wednesdays, but for some reason Wednesdays are not working for me lately. So yeah, I will try to figure something out with this. So I don't know, don't expect exact date when next video comes out. Yeah, there's also like a problem with topics, because I kind of like, especially if I have like a break, I just forget what I wanted to try. So anyway, I was actually like thinking that maybe like I will have enough time to do something for Astro Hackathon. We will, I guess, like by the end of this stream, we will figure out if I have something or not. I read through the rules, and basically like everything is done through Discord, and I was just too lazy to create like another Discord stuff. So I guess maybe like next stream. But my kind of entry, if I would have one, would be to work on some like SPA stuff for Astro, because they had static stuff, now they have server-side stuff, but they still need some kind of like SPA experience. So I was like, okay, maybe that's like a good idea. And I finally understood what their current idea of SPA is, which is not my idea of SPA, but I think we will try it. So just at least just to see that it's wrong. Anyway, so I think we want to try something like this. So they basically like added new example that is like SPA example, and I actually like how they do their examples, because a lot of examples are built in a way that are basically like requiring package above it. I think it provides like a better developer experience, so you can work on like core features of your, I don't know, like framework, and you can like test it like directly on examples. But it's, I don't know, just harder to clone and stuff. So I guess we will see it because it's like it touches the Astro, so we will have to use some kind of like linked, or like how they call it, like a local version of the package and stuff. I wonder if they have like a section for development. Yeah, their docs are not. I mean, they have docs like as a separate thing. They don't have like a kind of like developer oriented like README. So maybe all of that stuff is in Discord or something. Anyway, so okay, so I think I want to clone it, like the whole thing. And I don't know what Astro is, so it's going to be Astro all. I didn't realize that they already have like such a big repo. Okay, and so what we want to try is this pull request, which is yeah, so it's like internal branch. Log file, config. Okay, so SPA 2. Okay, that's the one. Okay, yeah, it's impossible to rebase it. Okay, let's just think that it's not important. Okay, so add SPA integration. So this adds like basically like a new package. And I guess it is like kind of like registered as a local package. Okay, so maybe that's how they do through like pnpm or whatever stuff they use. pnpm, yeah. I probably don't even have it installed, right? So let's start with that. Installing pnpm. I always wanted to try it. It's kind of like a problem when you use npm, it's really easy for you to understand it's like npm is wrong, you should use yarn. But once you use yarn, it's like, why do you need pnpm? It's kind of like, okay, you're on Windows, now you're like on I don't know, like Ubuntu. Why do I care about like 100 other distros if this one is like way better than Windows, and the differences between them like they're probably not as important for you to switch and stuff. So anyway, so you install, even if you don't have, using the following script. If you don't have curl, you would like to use get or Windows corepack. Right, so experimental features, so you need to enable it. Okay, I wanted to try that. Right, so I think you need to like, this will automatically install, or probably won't be to enable it. Check your latest version. Yeah, so the corepack stuff doesn't work. Maybe I have like a older version of Node 16.13. So I actually heard that Node 18 is out. So is it like LTS, or is 16 still LTS? So active LTS. and 18 is current. Okay. So I don't need to care about the LTS for 6 more months. So, okay, I won't. So let's look at the, should I care? Should I care? I think I should. Okay, let's how to install corepack. But it's distributed. You need to run first, uninstall global stuff. Okay. Hopefully I'm not breaking anything. Uninstalling yarn is not supported yet. Okay. Let's try this anyway. So will that work? Okay, enable. And how do you use it now? So if you have corepack, corepack pnpm. Too much reading. Okay. Just use your package manager usually to do it. Okay, so does it mean, oh wow, it worked. So did it change my yarn then? No, it's still Volta, but pnpm is still Volta. Okay, I don't get it. I hope I don't need to. Okay, so just use your package manager as usually. Local project manager using. Activate, prepare, offline, utility. Okay. Corepack is using yarn. That's I think that's like poetic. that's the best thing. Okay. So I guess pnpm install. It's not lightning fast, but I wonder how slow that would have been if we didn't use pnpm. Found it. Yeah, that kind of stuff is silly. Anyway, so we have our 300 megabytes of null modules, which again, I think it's like it's probably with like warmed up cache. It's going to be pretty fast. Download 0. Yeah, so like 8 seconds for 300 megabytes. I think that's fine. Okay, so let's see. We've had a lot of changes, and I'm more interested in like examples SPA. Kind of like started, and which version of the stuff it's going to use, and so on. So it has non-modules here, which probably, oh yeah, so it's like a sim linked into this, which such file directory. Okay. Because it should be node modules / all that stuff. Yep. So let's try something like this. So it doesn't have anything inside it. Okay, so let's start to, yeah, let's just start it. I wonder how does pnpm support like something like pnpm start? Maybe. Yeah, cannot find module. But imported from. So it's looking for SPA module. Maybe it's just not built. I wonder if we have some kind of like build step, release, change set, build examples. What do you need? All like everything from examples. So this is dev. Wonder what it does. It's okay. So let's start with dev. Oh, yeah, pnpm dev. So view, Netlify, integrations. Okay, it's building integrations, but I guess maybe like not building, but just running it in dev mode, which might be enough. So let's go to examples again and try to run dev again. Okay, maybe it is enough. Maybe it's not. Okay, so I'm thinking we're probably using. So we know that we're using right version of we know that we are using right version of integrations because that's the stuff that we needed to compile before it will run. Editor config. What's that? Set and a line and space. Okay, let's try it. Doesn't seem harmful or anything. Okay, let's start again. So we know that integration SPA stuff is probably like picking up changes. We're probably like using this version of it. So I don't know. You can probably add some console log somewhere and see if that that like causes it to rebuild. Yeah, it does. And does it do anything here? Yeah, we have our 1, 2, 3. So we know that we can work on like integration from here, but this branch is also like changes Astro runtime, and that's maybe like something that it's not is not picking up. So let's do this one. And whatever the client. So as far as I know, when you're like importing something, you can write like client idle, client something, and our is going to be whichever is the default one. Client totally, client media, client visible. I guess client idle is the good one. Is the kind of like recommended one. Okay, so I just no. Sandbox config. I think what we're discussing right now is kind of like this page. So it has this kind of like catch-all redirect, and I just wonder if we require some changes to Astro, like Astro runtime, but I think we are not. The more I think about it, the less kind of like sense it makes for me that we would need it. But anyway, so let's go there, write some Pokemon, and let's so we have like example SPA Pokemon SPA pages Pokemon. Yep. So this one, and let's just create a new file which is going to be like test.astro, and it's going to be like just h1 hello. Okay, so here test. Yeah, so it works with this stuff, but route pointer match, but no matching static path found. Okay, so now let's do index, and it doesn't work. So let's just look at the commits quickly and just figure out if the when was the Pokemon stuff added. It was added here. So add SPA example. Do we need to enable like SSR or something? How does the SPA readme look? So minimal pages. Okay, I'm not a fan of like this readmes just that are just copy of the of the standard one that don't explain anything. Anyway, so it looks like I don't have to do anything really, but I wonder persistent static entry points. So that's what integration does. Okay, so I don't want to kind of like debug that debug that integration like too much. So let's just move forward. So we have like those two pages, and let's just add a link for the from the second one to the first one. So what we want to see here, maybe we should add the link back as well. So okay, so I think it's like Yarn preview that is going to work as kind of like as kind of like production version. Huh. Okay. So maybe preview is more broken than I was thinking. Okay, so what's that? This. Oh. Okay. 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 So now we are on this page and we're clicking on this link. And what do we get? We get this HTTP stuff and this entry stuff. This chunk. Why wasn't it updated? So the question is, are we on the same page? So how do I test it? I will write window.x123 and now if I click on this link, I still have my window X. So if I reload, I will lose my state. And if my link is for, I don't know, like example.com, oh no, I would also need the backlink. Anyway, so the thing is that so this link it's getting kind of like how do you call it? I don't see pretty print, but maybe we can just find the maybe we can just find it in the code. I guess just calling for the listen. Island is root, get ID, current dataset persist, applies with after diff, persist, custom location change. Right. So I guess it doesn't do much kind of like here. Everything that is happening is basically happening on the in the listen, persist, plugin persistent. In the like in the micromorph SPA itself. So everything is happening there, but what is happening there is yeah, so micromorph automatically converts your MPA into SPA, and that actually means that for example, if I like slow down my network or something, and if I click on this link, we're just like waiting for network to resolve, and there are like no like spinner like in the browser, so it's not like a full page navigation. So if you look at the source code, right, I remember that it was hard to find the source code for this thing. I mean, we can always do like unpackage. Yeah. So this is the stuff that was adding like on-click events. So we're basically like replacing all the links, all the internal links in the page, on the page, right? We're adding our own kind of like on-click handler that requests like page that we want to go to using like fetch, I guess. Yeah. And once it's done, then then we are kind of like I think they call it like diff or something. Before diff, after diff. So before diff is R, and after diff is S. So it's here. Parse HTML. Scroll to top. Still kind of like options. History per state, and anyway, so it's kind of interesting what it does and like how it does it, but this is actually like not what I would expect. And also, as we've seen from like this oh, where is it? Let's dist folder. It has all the like static generation stuff, so I'm not really interested in that part. I mean, it's not relevant, I guess, in some sense, but I'm more curious in the, maybe I'm not, I don't know, we will see. So okay, let me let me restart for a bit. So this approach, I think it works, and I think it's kind of like fun way of doing it. I don't know what's going to happen if I'm like offline. So like what's happening there? Like how does it do it? And like how does it know what to do and so on? So I guess I need to restart it again. Slow 3G. Okay. So now if I drop it, click like that, it's like the site is unreachable. So does it do like error handling in case? Oh yeah. So in case of error, fetching error, it basically drops the request that it had, and like, okay, let's fall back on the full page reload. Okay, so it's actually kind of like, considering it's a one line of code, it's actually like pretty reasonable. Yeah, pretty reasonable failure mode. Let's call it that. I wonder why they do this like template stuff. I guess it's the same as like plus E or something. I don't know. Weird stuff. Okay, so why don't I like it? My problem is that there's probably some way to like hook into how this morph stuff works, but overall, okay. So I think let's say it this way. So I have two problems. So one is I don't want this behavior for the whole website. The way it works right now is that so you have like a Astro config, and you're like, okay, I'm turning my app into like SPA. The same kind of like way how I like, okay, let me turn my app into like server-side rendered app. So it's like it's a whole project or like website wide config. So I'm actually interested in having like maybe like login page be static page, and like slash dashboard be like SPA, but I don't know, maybe like slash profile be server side rendered. So I wonder if there's some kind of like mix and match that we can, I don't know, like invent out of here. So this is like the first point, is that I don't like that it's oh yeah, it's my Kato t-shirt. So I don't like that it's site-wide, and I want to have more flexibility. And the second point is that it doesn't seem like flexible enough. It seems like you can kind of like set up, okay, I want to preserve. So say, yeah, so we tried our like window X stuff. So now I'm okay. Let me undo throttling. So now I'm here, and say I have I don't know, like a YouTube embed or something. YouTube embed example. Okay, so where do I get the code? Where is the code? Where's the code? Just show me the code. So it's iframe for all of that stuff. I think that's how you do it. Just copy HTML and yeah, something like that. No, I didn't need you. I didn't need any of you. Okay. Not found. Okay. Okay, YouTube. Okay, iframe is good enough. I'm not gonna fight with it, but anyway. So if I click on this, like the state is lost, and if I have the same code on the other one, how does it know to preserve this? Oh, it actually does it. Okay. I'm more impressed. Yeah. So as long as it's kind of like working in kind of like React way of like, okay, I have this structure, and like if this component is living there, it will be preserved. So it's not as bad as I was thinking. So there is some like, yeah, it's actually like even preserving selection and stuff. Yeah, that's great. 1 point for SPA integration, but how do I kind of like enforce it? I guess my code like that, if I want to like have media player or something, it has to be in like layout or something, and there is some mechanism to preserve state between pages like that. So it's good that you can do all of that stuff, but what if I want to have, I don't know, like React router that is doing all of this stuff? So I can have like maybe like transitions or whatever, like animations or like error handling of going through pages and stuff. Maybe like this approach is actually like potentially like flexible enough to accommodate everything that could be like done with React router, but I'm coming to this problem more as I have my React application like already working. How do I put it into Astro if I don't want to do like Netlify redirects as I was as I was showing it with like my blog example. And yeah, so I'm curious to look into what kind of like I don't know, like options and stuff. So let's go back. Let's actually see what kind of like examples they have. So block framework. Yeah, the other thing that I'm really curious to check out is if it's possible to do Solid and React at the same time, because they both use the same kind of like extension and stuff. So when we're talking about so it's Preact, React, Svelte, Vue, and Solid. So Preact and React actually use the same stuff, and Solid and React uses. Okay, so this is the stuff that I'm curious to check. Okay, so we are opening it. And hello React, hello Preact, hello Solid. Wow, that's really cool. I'm like more and more impressed with all of this stuff the longer I look at it. So okay, so we have, why does it have to be that, and this one is this one is default? do they have to use 3 different ways to import stuff? Okay, so where is Solid? Okay, so this one is Solid. Interesting. Client visible. They all look the same. It's importing solid. Yeah, and you'll have like JSX that doesn't know what class has. Oh, yeah, that's really curious how they do it. So it's just Preact React. I was hoping that it works this way, but I still don't understand how it works this way. So it's React.counter. Okay, so okay. So what is happening? So it's export. So if I do export default, oh, I guess I killed it. Okay, so package may be correct. So I use default import here. So, and if I use like that, okay, this package may be correct. Specified stuff and export default. So it's not it's not important. So A Astro and B Astro. B is renamed. Okay, so that part I don't really care. Care about this one. So we have Preact counter and Preact. I don't know. I don't know what that means. SFC, and this one is not SFC. Otherwise, they look the same. So, oh, I guess maybe like you don't have to import the. Okay, but if I remove this one, it'll still work. Package may have been correct. Failed to entry. Yeah, maybe that's how it basically how it detects frameworks. Anyway, so it's cool that it works. And what was my point? Oh, I didn't have a point. I was just going through examples, and I was curious to see how Preact, React, and Solid can work at the same time, and apparently they do, which is really cool. Like with plugins, Tailwind, SSR, SPA, all of that stuff. Okay, so I think we'll start with minimal, and that's all the stuff I had touched. Apple's SPA. Yeah, so apparently I broke it maybe. And that's why it's using like Astro, like not the version of Astro or something. Okay, I'm not going to figure any of this out. Okay, let's okay, so we have I'm just thinking, I wanna do it inside Astro just because what I forgot the name. I want to do it inside Astro just because if I kind of like decide to write integration or something, I can kind of like already do it. So let's do pnpm install, because versions probably have changed. Yeah. And now we do something dev, I forgot. Yeah, to build all this stuff. And now let's go to examples, and let's go to minimal example, just because it seems like everyone is is using that one. And so they have been. So how does pnpm work? Yeah, the same way. Okay, so they actually have this command that allows you to, if you're inside of like Astro project, that allows you to add like new integrations. And so we're going to use React just because it's something that I work most, and yeah, we will have like less issues, I hope. So we didn't need any of that. Yeah, so basically like it will install everything and like we'll configure everything to use React out of this like nice fancy interface and stuff. So no new line. Okay, it looks fine for me. So Astro. Yeah, and I think you can just do like Astro add React and it will not ask you as much, but I just wanted to kind of like demo how it looks. So let's start it. Let's see if it works. And yeah. So we are going to how do I phrase it nicely? We're going to lose some of the benefits of Astro, but we are going to do it in a strategic way. As I said, we're going to do it in kind of like, okay, so we have like this index page, and now we're going to create basically like folder dashboard, and inside there we're going to create index Astro, which is going to be just, I don't know, like hello. And so here dashboard. So here we have our app, and let's just imagine that the whole app is actually like a React app. So how do I do that? Let's just look at how other ones do it, and we have like a counter from React. So in our case, it's going to be, I don't know, like dashboard, and it's going to be client. Maybe even client only. I don't know. Let's do idle, because I think that one is kind of like the good one. So we are moving our H1 inside of dashboard now, but we need to import dashboard. So components. So where is the React one? So SRC components. Components and side components. We will just, I don't know, let me just drag and drop it. Did it do it? What's happening? Okay, counter. We're not going to use defaults because I don't like them. And it's going to be dashboard. Sure. Oh yeah, and the file name as well. Okay, so here it's and it has a .jsx stuff. So does that matter? Okay, so fail to load module SSR. Huh? Why does it need SSR? File not found. Dashboard. Dashboard. Did I create a file in the wrong folder or something? Yeah, I'm confused. No, it's not dashboard, it's components. Maybe I need to go, yeah, I need to go just deeper. I see, so where's our components? Dashboard. Yeah. Okay, so dashboard. Perfect format. It doesn't format. Why isn't it formatting? Prettier is not what? Ignored. Okay. I'm not going to fix prettier right now. Okay, so this is our hello React, and it doesn't have the initial state, I think, right? So it should be like count 1. So okay, now we're going to do something interesting. Now we're going to do a like React router and read the docs. Do I want to read the docs? Probably not. So template. Yeah, I'm a bit confused. How do I add it to like existing project? Installation. pnpm React router. Okay, for some reason I was thinking that you need like several packages, but that's not it. Okay, so we're installing this package. Now we need to install browser router, which is kind of like provider. It should be like kind of like app wide. And so here it's a browser router. Yeah, Preacher is not working for some reason. Okay. So does it work? It does not. Our issue is that it's we need server-side support, because browser router only works in the oh no, we're in the JSX. TypeScript is not going to help us. Oh no. Server rendering. Okay. If you want to tackle your own, you need to use StaticRouter. Okay. So I never used it. So if it's not going to work right away, I'm going to just switch to client only. But if it works, it's just going to be great. So here we are basically I think we want to do something like, I don't know, if type of window. Okay. Let's see what you know, Mr. GitHub Copilot. So line 12 is crashing because they have window location stuff, which I shouldn't. And I should have this. Yeah, so now it should complain that our HTML's mismatching, which we're going to fix with basically like we are going to write I don't know, like providers. Yeah, and so we'll move all of that stuff there. So it's going to be a static router or browser router. Yeah. I think it should be like not window but document. I know about this because like Dino has window but doesn't have document, and everyone is checking for client side for like window, but we should eventually like try move to checking for document. Anyway, so let's return this. Oh no, that's where we do provider stuff. Okay, so now we have all of this stuff and it doesn't complain. So let's recap. We are doing we just kind of like turned on router, but we don't use it, but we turn it on in the way that it should work properly, which means that server will generate the same HTML as the client, just because the only thing that we change is this this provider. Okay. Yeah. Which again, if that wouldn't have worked, where's the dashboard? I would just do like client only and then just ignore the server side. But it's fun that it works. Okay, so now let's go into routes. And yeah, so this component is basically like two components. I should probably do that separation first. So dashboard, it's a thing that renders yes, counter, and it passes children, and so this one is counter, and it doesn't do any of that stuff. It just does this. Yeah, so let's just check that it still works. Oh no, it doesn't, because counter should be with. What isn't? I should have done TypeScript. I'm really I'm really unproductive without it. But this is the minimal. Anyway, so this is what we want to try. Oh, what's happening? This is what we want to try. We want to have some kind of like slash counter, maybe that will render of all of this stuff, and we will have I think that's how to do it. Like this is going to be like index, and where we're going to just write index. Okay, so routes is not defined, which is the right thing to complain. What's not route is not defined as well, which again, I couldn't agree more. Okay, so now no routes matching location dashboard. That's okay, so they also have like nested routing, and I think that's something that we need to try. Okay, so route. So basically, we need to have a route above all of those routes. And this one should be a dashboard. So this way, okay. Expect the server to contain matching each one. Hydration failed because does not match render the server. Okay. So our static router maybe like not getting the same location information, and we will check how it's location something. So just for fun of it, we will do like slash dashboard. Okay, it stopped complaining. So now we do dashboard counter. This is not what I would expect. Right, that's where the where the interesting part comes. Okay. Okay. So why doesn't this one match? Absolute child route must start with combination over parent node. Okay, I think we messed up the nesting route stuff. So it should be like one or the other, I guess. So route index. Okay. Maybe dashboard should be showing outlet. Yeah. So basically, this one is showing something, but all of that stuff goes like under H1. So let's do H2 just to be consistent. So now here it should be like that. So it's like dashboard index. And now we come to the crazy part. So now so I wish I could like fix this part, but I don't really wanna for now. So let's just imagine that this one is always returning the right URL. What I wanna go and do is that basically like okay, I think I don't know what I want to try, but let's try it anyway. Oh, so here let's make it a counter. And it's going to be kind of like exactly the same. So now if I go to dashboard counter, it renders stuff. The difference is that this one is this one is dashboard counter. Yeah, so now it works. And again, let's just kind of like imagine that that it works. And now the crazy part. Now I want to, like in index, I want to add a link to the counter. So, and it's going to be linked to counter. Okay, that's great. Link is not defined, which again, not going to complain about it. So now let's go back to this thing. Let's remove counter here. So it's going to complain, but we're starting here. Yeah. So why is that important? The thing that, like, why is this SPA is not your that branch SPA? The difference is that now if I go and make it offline, I can still click on this link and I can still go back. We are no longer talking to the server. Basically because when we are on this page, we already have downloaded all the all the code that is needed to render counter, and so we don't need to check with the server. It just works. And moreover, if I have some stuff that is, I don't know, like an iframe, which could be, I don't know, example.com. Now, my navigation between all of those pages are going to be preserving like the state, because of course it will. It's a SPA. Yeah. But on the same kind of like at the same time, I can have a link that goes to I can have a link that goes outside of our SPA, and that one requires full page reload. You can see by the like spinner and stuff. So that was kind of like my goal, because we can mix and match. And yeah, of course, if I'm on this page and I click refresh, it's going to complain because my server-side rendering is broken right now. I mean, it's not broken, but it's like it's broken enough. Yeah, that's great. It works. Yeah. So now the problem is the following. What if I have a dynamic route? So let's just imagine that when I'm on a counter, I have like a, I don't know, like a go link or something. It's going to be go to no. Maybe it should be just here, go to count, and it's going to be linked to I don't know, like something like this. So I can go to like counter 5, for example. And now we can actually just have it. Yeah, I should get this as like a separate component so it doesn't like mess up with preacher, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, so let's just imagine that we have like a counter here, and instead of counter, it's like a counter wrapper, and our counter wrapper returns counter, but initial we get initial count from like use props. Where is it? Use props. So it's use params counter. Okay, something like that. Okay, so use params is not defined, which again, it's small price to pay for not using TypeScript. Other. It's messed up. Let's just call it. Let's just use the full URL, so we don't have to fight with that. Okay, so go to counter. And it's like 7. Right. Again, small price to pay for TypeScript stuff. So our client wrapper should send like a number. Someone was like explaining to me that like it should be number instead of like parseInt, which I like. Let's just see if that's true. Okay, so as you can see, like everything is working flawlessly, which a bit of overstating it, but so we have a like dynamic route. So our I don't know, like our state is stored in this thing. Now the problem is that if I refresh it, it will like crash and burn. And the solution for it is, I think you wanna create a folder that is called counter. You wanna move this file there. You wanna rename it to account. Okay, so now this one is even deeper. Okay, yeah, and so now we get to the like get static path stuff, which is like too silly for for what we are doing. So what we're going to do is we will do Astro add again, and we will. Oh no, we need to Astro add. I think like Netlify or something. So like whatever the server side rendering that we need. Yep. Astro could not update. Unable to install dependencies. Why? Why? Okay, let's just try it again. Just for fun. I cannot find much. Huh. Is that because of like local packages and stuff? Yeah. I'm not committing stuff. So Astro config Netlify version. Okay. Let's just see if it starts. It doesn't. Cannot find module. Do we have this module? Basically like locally. I guess not. np no pnpm install. Okay, it didn't work. Okay, so I think that was to the React router stuff. So do you have the add command? No. Huh. Do you have it here? Yeah. Okay. So now let's just do Astro Netlify. Not found. Okay. Astro Netlify. I think they also have like just like SSR. So Astro JS Netlify. Maybe that's it. Okay. So will it work now? I guess it does. Okay. So let's go back here. So it's working now. So our kind of like problem still is that our server side stuff, which again, if we just go to if we just go here and if we just like add only client, no? Oh yeah, but you can add it somewhere. I don't know. So like dashboard counter 57. So it works right now. But if we go to 58, it will complain again. So again, it's not a huge deal. It's just oh yeah. So our URL, our state here are not connected. I was like, why didn't it update? But anyway, so this is how you can do it. The problem is that you have to duplicate your routing. I mean, it's working except for this part, but we probably have time to fix it. Should I fix it? Okay, let's fix it. So what do we need? We need like basic like when we're doing server side rendering. I think we can do like some Astro dot something again without TypeScript. It's kind of hard to do. Astro is not defined. I mean, it should be defined on the server. Oh yeah, we need to import it. So let's go to maybe like some Astro docs. Astro build, and let's click on docs, and all that spread down, static asset configuring, debugging, import ls. Oh yeah, I was probably need that because we already have like 5 levels of integrations. Okay. Netlify functions. What's the difference? Yeah, so this is the stuff I'm looking for. We can because we can read stuff, but maybe we can only read it inside Astro file. So if you go to this counter, we can probably do something like that. Okay, we need to remove it here first. Okay, so let's update it. Let's look at the code. Okay, yeah, we don't have cookies, but we have a lot of other stuff. So it's some kind of like path name, right? There's parsed URL. Okay, so let's say parsed URL path name, which again we also need like all the other stuff. So let's look at the docs of like StaticRouter location, URL context URL location object, path name, search hash, and state. Can we just pass the whole URL? Let's try. So it's not going to be cookie, but it's going to be SSR URL. Why not? Undefined. What? Properties, path name, Astro 4. I didn't get it. It worked just a second ago. Huh. Yeah, let's go where it was working. What? I don't know. Let's just restart it. I don't understand what's happening. Okay. So it works. Maybe it's request dot something. Okay. Again. Astro params. Response redirect headers. Yeah. Okay, so Astro request. Okay. bit confusing, but let's. I don't get it. What's happening? So 1, 2, 3 and URL. Okay, so this is the URL, and now I can, I don't know, SSR URL equals URL, and now in dashboard, do I get a no? So in dashboard, I can access SSR URL and do console log SSR URL, and it's going to be on both on the client and on the server. So now I just pass it to provider, and here I can read it. Okay, so this one is going to be only on the server, and I just hope that I can pass it like that. Yeah, this sounds great. So now I'm on the dashboard. Oops. Oh yeah, so this is the depressing part. It's because all of my pages now have to be kind of like duplicating all this code. So it's SSR URL. So whatever's touching dashboard should be updating to use it. So yep. Okay, so full is our like full page navigation, which makes sense. If you're like working on a login form, you can press login and wait for a page to load. It's like not the end of the day. So here our counter, okay, it's started to crash. Let's go figure out. Right, I think it has to be like that. Yeah. Yep. So this is our SPA. You are here on the I guess, oh yeah, so we are here on the index page. We can go to counter, we can go to like a specific page, and all of those navigations were done inside of like SPA mode. But even if I reload the page, it will have like proper state and stuff. Yeah, this is yeah. There's like a lot of kind of like random stuff, but now I'm at the point where I can go back to my point. So you could do that in kind of like similar way as I did, except you probably want to have I would say like this file dashboard, like your counter should just like import the dashboard Astro file, and all of your like inside routes, they don't have to copy paste the code. They can just like import the dashboard Astro file. It doesn't it doesn't work for static side generation the way I wrote it. It will only work with server-side rendering. That's why I needed to add it later. It doesn't work because of this problem of like get static paths stuff. What it means is that in static side generation mode, you need to know all possible pages that you want to go, and that kind of like clashes with the idea of as I was saying, like I wish Astro had a mode where it can do server-side rendering and server-side generation at the same time. I think like Next.js does it somehow. I don't remember. I think it's like only on Vercel or something, but they have like this mode. But in the way that it's written right now, you need to use server-side rendering. The other option is if you use something like Netlify, you just do redirects, which means locally you need to run something like Netlify dev, where you do redirects locally, and then you just redirect to like your index page all the time. But then you lose the server-side generated stuff. So it's only like client only kind of like mode. It will not work with like server-side pre-rendering. Okay, but if you use server-side rendering, you can use those kind of like dynamic path in your like Astro routing. And as far as I know, you can actually like in Next, you can do something like that. So it will match like basically like until the end. So this way we wouldn't like write index Astro, we will just write like that, and it will catch all the path that go after. But I think Astro doesn't support it. We'll just like check it for a second. Yeah, so it doesn't. I think it just crashes. Yeah. So I think they should add it. I don't know if they have like an issue for that or not, but it will like simplify your life. But until they do, you can just like basically like duplicate your routes in file routing and like your React routing, and all of your stuff until like dashboard is going to magically work. What are we missing? Yeah, I think so if I would record part 3 of this stream, what would I do? I would try to figure out if there is like a cheap way to fix the double bracket stuff. Maybe I should just check if they have like a PR in draft or something already for that. But I think if you fix that, that simplifies the kind of like SPA approach a lot. But maybe again, you want to mix and match, and maybe you want to have like a deep path that still like pre-renders, not pre-renders, but like not uses React Router or something. Okay, so that one thing that I would like to check. So what else is missing? It's actually not as bad as I was imagining it to be. Yeah, and then I would like to basically solidify the pattern. So it could be like just an example for because I have like different examples. It could be like example of how to use React router, right? It could be just example of React router, or it could be like integration. Maybe you just kind of like in your Astro config, you just add like React, Netlify, and like SPA, but they already took the SPA name, unfortunately, so it has to be something else. SPA 2. And what would that one do? So what would be the difference? I think it would probably like pass the like location stuff on server side, so you don't have to deal with that. Maybe it just kind of like exports this component, so you don't have to do this switching. There's like a already component that does this for you. Maybe there's like some automation on how to turn like maybe like these routes into file-based one, or like file-based ones into these ones. So I don't know the approach. I think if I want to use React router, that's the API I want to use. Yeah. So the concrete problem that I'm solving is that we have app that is using React router, and it's running under like CRA, Create React App framework, I guess, or like tool chain. And I want to try like migrating everything, but I'm not in a mood of like rewriting everything. And there was like a easy, cheap way of just like plunking everything into like one folder and just tell Astro, okay, this stuff is like SPA, don't worry about it. Because how it is right now is just Netlify does redirects to, I think it's like just a star redirect, like everything is redirected into index.html, and we do client side. We don't do anything on the server. Yeah, I think that's the second or like third thing that I'm missing is some kind of like way to configure what is pre-rendered on the server, what is like just client only. In Next, I had some problem with that. I think the solution they propose is that you do all of your client only stuff as kind of like lazy import, and you just import that file inside of useEffect, which for me seems bad because you need to download in the index.html, you need to download React kind of like framework itself. It has to like do some initialization and wait a bit before calling useEffect. Then you wait for another bundle, you like parse it, and then only you see some like pixels on your screen. There should be some way to, I don't know, do this earlier. It doesn't seem it is a way to convert your Create React app into Next, but it doesn't look good. It like even on dev, it's like kind of like slow in like a wrong way. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm like, okay, I need server-side rendering does nothing on server. this seems to be like the motif that I'm going for. So that maybe that's the name of the package. But there's probably like a way to have it without server-side rendering. If I really do have a way to know all the paths that I'm going to go, that's the example that we were looking with like Pokemons. There's like a list of Pokemons, so we can pre-render everything, even though we use like React Router. And I think if you pre-render yeah, so let's check it. So if I go to count, okay, so now let's imagine that I don't do client. Yeah. So, and if I go to, I don't know, like JavaScript, this is hot code module reload and stuff. So it doesn't download any JavaScript. And I think this is great. I think the idea that you can use React Router in a sense of like you already have created React app, it already has routing and stuff. The idea that you can just like turn everything in static website that ships zero JavaScript, and you can probably kind of like control it. I don't know how that works, but let's just imagine that you can do like you have like SSR only, or I guess server side generated, SSG only. If this page doesn't need anything, then just don't download React. But if it needs something, then like do client idle, right? I don't know if Astro supports like this dynamic stuff, but it should. I think we can probably you could just like render different components. So like maybe like dashboard with SSR or dashboard without SSR. What's happening? Client idle, yeah. And now it's clickable, and now it's whatever, like 1 megabyte of JavaScript. Yeah, the sad part is that once you use React Router, you have to do it on like kind of like top level, and you have to download React. So it's like the right. So if I don't download JavaScript, do those links work? Yes, they do. They're just anchor links, right? But they do like full page reload, which I mean, I think it's worth it. I think the idea that you can, convert some create React app websites into Astro websites is great, because maybe that's the project. The project is to I don't know, you run like npm command and it turns your create React app into Astro project, and it bootstraps it in a way of kind of like this. It would bootstraps it. Maybe even if it doesn't do any like server-side rendering, it's great as like a first step. Okay, I have an app that is like doing exactly the same stuff, but it's on top of Astro. Now, if I need new page, I can do Astro page. Now, if I need server-side rendering, I can add it. I think that's a cool project, and I wonder if I can find this video, but there was a video of like you should stop using create React app. I think something like that. No, it's yeah, this one, this flamethrower. So it's the thumbnail is great. The name is great, but the content is not really. It's like okay, it's 2 ads. Okay, it's ended finally. So it goes into like how everything is done, but I don't really understand what his okay, I see it next. So he's like, let's replace it with next. But is there like a migrate to Next.js? Right, I think they have like a just yeah, they have like a guide of how to do it, and I think I tried it and it failed. Yeah, and that's the syntax that they have. Right. So yeah, so I'm imagining basically like this page for Astro, and maybe even like a tool that can do it. Yeah. Okay, it's too late. I need to go. I should probably like link this, but I didn't look like through the whole video, but I wasn't like impressed by the solutions. I think the problem is clear, that like the create React app is, I think they like did last release like 2 years ago or something. So it's like, yeah, I think now React core team is already like recommending Next as a foundation. Yeah, and this is like Theo's website of like how to basically like start on web, which is a bit like ambitious, or I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, there is like a solution that fits everyone, which kind of like the whole Theo's kind of like mode of operandi. That's how he looks at this stuff. Yeah, so I think this should be like Astro. For some reason, I feel like Astro has the kind of like better abstraction. So Next.js is like, okay, you want to React, you want to run React on the server. There is a way to do that, and I think abstraction should be like, you want to write websites, and I think Astro is kind of like a better solution for like, you want to write websites. Okay, where do we want to go from here? I think I'm just saying tune in next week. Let's see what I'm going to do on the next stream. I feel like I kind of like describe what I want to see. I want to see this, but for Astro, and I want to see something better than use effect. And the current like SPA approach that Astro has, it's too Astro specific, because I think there should be CRA kind of like specific, CRA flavored SPA, not the Astro flavored one, which we saw that it works good. There's like probably like a good way to implement basically like everything that you want to do in SPA, but it misses the point of like, I already have an app and then it's already working. I bet there is a way to basically like do Astro SPA and like React router at the same time. So you just disable the JavaScript in React, and like your Astro SPA stuff will add like on-click handlers and stuff. I don't want to go there yet, but there's probably like someone who's thinking that it's a good idea. I just solving my problem of like, we have pretty big create React app, and I'm not happy with like flexibility, because there are like some pages that I want to make like smaller. There are things I want to like tree shake and stuff, and it's like nothing is working. It's kind of like gotten state. But Next is, I don't know. I was really skeptical of Next when it just kind of like showed up. We used it for one project. We were next to someone who was using it for the other. I didn't get like, oh wow, I didn't get this, oh wow, this is the way to build any web app. For me, it's still like pretty specific to what Vercel is doing for what React is doing. So yeah, I want to see if Astro could feel that kind of need for me, need of migrating from CRA, because yeah, Next. Where's my tweet? I already closed it, but yeah. I wish to use something better, but yeah, the other option is of course Remix, but I don't know, this guy has banned me on Twitter, so anyway, I need to have like a fancy way to close streams, because for some reason I don't have like a really good control over where is my stream is stopping. So yeah, I need to figure out something for this.